Well, good Thursday morning to you folks. Hopefully things are going well with you. I hope you had a good night's rest and you're ready to face the day. I'm going to read to you from a revival today. Just because our series of meetings is over, revival should burn every day, right? September the 21st. 1907, God uses the unconventional. And he said unto them, What manner of man was he which came up to meet you? And he told you these words. And they answered him, He was an hairy man, and girt with a girdle of leather about his loins. And he said, It is Elijah the Tishbite. And of course that is found in 2 Kings 1, 7 and 8. The American Magazine published a 17-page article in September of 1907 criticizing Billy Sunday's hellfire and brimstone preaching. He began by slapping every church tradition of procedure in the face. In the course of his first sermon, becoming overworn, he ripped off his coat, and then his waistcoat, and then his tie and the collar, and even then his gestures, more vehement even than his words, caused the drops of sweat to fly from his brow and ears as he beat the pulpit and tossed his head until he was hoarse in exaggeration of the devil and the hardness of the human heart. The magazine would quote the Reverend Pierce Pinch, pastor of the Fairfield Congregational Church. He has outraged every idea I have had regarding my sacred profession. But my congregation will be increased by hundreds. I didn't do it. God did it through Billy Sunday. It is for me to humble myself and thank God for his help. He is doing God's work. That's all I know. Sometimes we can be so cautious of false fire that we have no fire at all. When a person physically needs to be revived at the scene of a car accident, the paramedics don't worry about how fast they move or how loud they bark orders or if sweat is dripping from their faces. They have to save a life. The revival of men and the salvation of souls is far more urgent. Maybe you wouldn't preach like a particular evangelist or get as excited about soul winning as someone else in the church. That's okay. At least attempt to please God in your way. And by all means, don't criticize those who are trying to honor God and preach truth in revival work. And boy, does that happen. It sure does. It happens. And it happens among people who will listen to preachers. Other preachers, it may happen in their lives, but somebody will listen. I say, well, I like this preacher better because he's this way. And that's fine. Everybody probably has their favorites. I say to our church all the time, I have a guy that I listen to that I love to listen to. He's my favorite preacher. But it doesn't mean because someone doesn't preach like him that they're not preaching. That's where some people get messed up and say, well, he's not a preacher because, nah. I think it pays us all to keep our tongue in our mouth and our thoughts in our head and not let them get away from us sometimes. Be who you are. But you're who you are. Don't criticize other people for who they are. They do their thing. They answer to God. I'm not their judge. I'm not their jury. I'm not there any. God is, and he'll take care of that. Well, we sang this song the other night in church. I don't even know if I can get through it. The other night I looked up the words on my phone. Well, of course, now I'm recording this on my phone, so I was asked to sing it. We try to get through it. I'll see if I can remember it here. Find the right chord here. He was waiting at the altar. When I knelt there, he lifted me. When I trusted in him, it was over. My sin-sick soul he set free. I had searched everywhere, but could not find him, till I said, Precious Lord, have thy way. When I opened up my heart, I felt his love rushing in. He was waiting at the altar for me. Full of pride and conceited, I was lost and alone till I laid down my soul at his feet. I found him the answer. He met me halfway. He was waiting at the altar for me. He was waiting at the altar. When I knelt there, he lifted me. Everywhere can I find him, and my sin-sick soul he set free. I had searched everywhere but could not find him, till I said, precious Lord, have thy way. When I opened up my heart, I felt his love rushing in. He was waiting at the altar for me. He was waiting at the altar. When I knelt there, he lifted me. When I trusted in him, it was over, and my sin-sick soul he set free. When I searched everywhere but could not find him, till I said, precious Lord, have thy way. When I opened up my heart, I felt his love rushing in. He was waiting at the altar for me. He was waiting at the altar for me. Well, there you go. That's what you get when you got a brain that is overactive. Got too much in it, maybe, huh? Maybe not enough in it, but he was waiting at the altar. He's still waiting there for a lot of folks, but it doesn't have to be at that altar. It doesn't have to be in a church, but an altar is anywhere that you can meet him, that you ask him to come into your life, to save you, forsake, confess, repent. Lord, I thank you for everything you do for us, Lord, and I pray that you would watch over and bless those that hear and watch this today. In Jesus' name, amen. God bless you, folks. See you Friday.